All right, practice 4 is in the books. Got a lot to do in a short amount of time, so that's what training camp is all about. So open it up to questions.
Sammy the Niz.
Coach, in the first 3 practices you've seen tape on, what have been your takeaways out of week 1?
Yeah, the first practice we went out, it was really hot and humid. I think the guys got gassed early. We had a lot better energy day 2, and I thought we made a big jump on day 3. So that's the key to the drill. Get better, every single day, improve more. More guys doing their job consistently, doing things that winning football teams do. Understanding also that we're installing a lot of new stuff that for the young guys, is a little bit of an overload. So.
Niz on your left and Zach.
You've had a few true freshmen kind of recent years make the jump kind of into prominent roles. Is the biggest obstacle for those guys the physical nature of the jump or the mental hurdles? You mentioned kind of overloading them with the install and things like that. What's kind of the biggest obstacle they need to overcome to kind of earn prominence?
True freshmen, a little bit of both. When they graduate and they're seniors or 50-year seniors, their body's going to look a lot different. But I guess the main thing would be maturity level and being able to handle all the things, especially when school starts. Handling success, failure, being consistent, having good habits, not getting caught up, in things that freshmen get caught up in. So we got a couple freshmen doing fairly well, but let's see where we're at.
Zach on your left and Seth.
Just to follow up on that, especially with the December signing window, it seems like so many more of those guys are coming in mid-year. Like 10 years ago, maybe you'd have a small handful. Now it feels like more than half the class usually enrolls mid-year. What's changed about both maybe the way you see freshmen go through that process with so many more of them have that spring season first, and what changes maybe about the way you, I don't want to say project, but approach a freshman when you know that a lot more of these guys are going to be with you for 9 months before their first season?
Yeah, right. Well, we want to take the best available whenever they can enroll, because you really don't count on freshmen helping your team. That doesn't mean that they won't. Some won't. So, big time benefit to go through the winter program, spring ball, and it's like they've been through it, and they're a sophomore in some ways. So, I think you've seen that in a couple guys that are with us right now.
Seth on your left and Bob.
Curt, you talked about the offensive line last week, but Carter Smith specifically, just how much development have you seen from him since you came in the door here? And how good of a player can he become?
Yeah, I think the sky's the limit, really. Wouldn't put a limit on it. I think he's having a good camp, at least the first 3 days. And he was a good player last year, too. But, guys normally improve from their freshman year to sophomore to junior to senior. I think you're seeing that with him. So he's got a lot of talent. He's a great kid, high character guy. Be a good leader on this team also. So look for him to have a big year for us.
Bob on your left and Daniel.
Curt, you've talked about improving rather than just sustaining. How do you do that? How do you get that much better when you've got a team coming off 11-2 and a CFP for?
Yeah. Well, like I've said numerous times, every team, regardless of your record the year before, you got to start at ground zero in January. And we're very process-oriented, buy into the process, improve daily, no limitations on what you can accomplish, get consistency in performance, high standards, don't lower your standards. And if you prepare right, you write your ticket, so to speak. The key is doing all those things. Being able to handle success, being able to handle failure. I see this team improving, but we still have a long way to go.
Daniel in front and Zach Beat.
Offensively, how much do y'all change each year? I'm sure, throughout the spring, y'all watch others throughout the whole sport, but just how much do you add and, subtract each year?
Well, it's hard to put a percentage on. There's new stuff. You want to stay on the cutting edge. See what other people are doing well, what you can do better, and then you got to build around your quarterback. And every quarterback's different. You got to highlight his strengths, and then, put your playmakers in position to make plays. So you know, it may not look different to the average fan up in the stands, but normally year to year, it's, you know, it's hard to put a percentage on. Depends on whether your quarterback's a pocket guy, dual guy, you know, so.
Zach, be in front and Mike.
Coach, I want to go back to Carter. When you first got here, what made him one of the few guys you wanted to keep from that old Indiana kind of tenure, and then kind of what stood out to you, and how quickly did he buy into how you do things?
Yeah, well, you know, there were quite a few I wanted to keep. We just weren't able to keep them. And there were a couple of linemen I wanted to keep. But fortunately, he came back into the fold, which was huge for us. And I'm glad he did. And like I said, he's a really good football player. He's a really good student. He's a really good guy. Comes from a great family.
Mike on your right and Joe.
Yeah, Coach. I wanted to ask you about Tyreek Tucker. He's been with you and Pat for a few years now. Seemed to really pop a little bit last year. What's the opportunity in front of him this year?
Well, he's competing for a starting position right now. We've got 4 older guys inside, kind of rotating. You want to have depth there. You know, he had played a significant number of snaps last season, played well. Didn't have the greatest spring, but is back to his old ways this fall in camp, and we're excited about him.
Joe up top, last one.
You've coached Camaro now for over half a decade. This is a guy that he's aiming for sack records, saying he wants to leave his opponent's scars. I mean, what has he meant to you as both a player and person for this past 6 years now?
Kamara?
Oh, come on.
Yeah. I mean, you know, the production is one thing. I've seen him come a long way as a true freshman, starting in that COVID spring. Remember, FCS didn't play in fall, with 2 bad shoulders that both needed surgically repaired at the end of the season. That said a lot right there. And, you know, he's done a lot of great things on the field. He comes from a great family. He's a highly intelligent guy. And really all I want from him is I want to see him cut it loose every single play. You know, play with fire, play with energy. And when he does that, you know, he's a great player.
All right, thanks guys.
Thank you.